Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Welcome and a Merry Christmas.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. Is it?
Yes, Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Thursday the 12th. No, it's Tuesday the 10th. What is it, the 11th?
We lost you there. Are you all right?
A little bit. I was drinking some coconut water. I heard the theme tune to the show.
Lisa Windsor's classic theme.
The classic, it's the Craig Ferguson Show with Malibu Joe on the radio.
They are talented.
Yes.
Tweet us at the C. Ferg Show. Go ahead. We're waiting for you.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Welcome back for more of number 2. The Craig Ferguson Show.
It's gonna be, yeah.
It's gonna be, yeah. That's right, muggle bitches.
What?
Yeah.
There are children in the car.
I'm sorry.
Did he just say muggle bitches?
Yeah, and Shirley, I don't even know what that means.
Well, it's a little Harry Potter he's throwing
It's a
in
wee
there.
bit Harry Potter. I got a wee bit edgy Harry Potter. Shirley Manson is here, everybody.
Yay!
Round of applause, please. Big audience today for Shirley.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, the foam cannon is going off. And everything's like
bad.
Ibiza.
Everything's exploding!
Hey. Hiya, Shirley.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Man porn.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, man porn.
What on earth is going on in
Well,
here?
it's just a thing. Don't worry about it. And now, so it's not a bad thing. It's just I do this thing where I pretend to be a shock AM radio guy called man porn, and I yell about the Clintons and I shout man porn.
But hold on, wasn't there a DJ from Chicago called Man...
Cow.
Cow?
Yes, I did a show. Did you ever do a show?
I did, he was funny.
He was very funny. I think he's still working.
I don't know if he is, but I remember him fondly anyway. But
Yeah,
he was a
I
shock
remember.
jock.
He was a shock jock.
Yeah.
I remember I had lunch with him once in a hotel in Chicago, and he introduced me to his pastor. He said, "This is my pastor." I was like, "Aight,
Okay.
yeah."
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought you said pasta.
No, pasta. He introduced me to his pasta.
Oh, yeah. I can see
These
it.
are my pasta.
Oh, it's
I
delicious.
just make a little pasta. I introduce you. You can't eat any of these pasta. You just say hello and then I take it away. He's very
Joe.
expensive for you. Apparently he's Dracula.
Well, I see things haven't gotten any more sensible since
No,
the last
not
time
at
I
all.
was in.
No.
But we were talking earlier, or maybe yesterday, I can't remember, about your double haircut, which we love very much, Shirley.
Is that
as
how you
much
know
as
it
we love
too?
You. What?
Is that how you refer to it, as a double haircut?
Well, I think of it that way. I've never referred to it that way.
It's a great term. I thought Craig invented it.
No, I think you invented
he
it
might
last
have.
time you were here,
Did
Shirley.
I?
Yeah, because you like your hair is long, but you can comb it a certain way, and then underneath, short hair.
Comb it a certain way.
Now
Not
listen.
that old.
No, that's right. Shirley Manson has a comb over.
Whoa,
That's
it.
right. Even
Yeah.
rock stars, it can happen.
Oh, it
over.
sure can.
Oh no, it does.
Sometimes they fill them in with Sharpies.
Do you know what? The one I noticed. Remember Dire Straits when they started out? He used to have just a small headband, like a do-rag thing, and it got wider and wider as his hair was receding until it became a whole do-rag.
Just because
thing.
you've got
that's
an
nice.
amazing head of hair.
I have got amazing head.
You have
of
an
hair.
amazing head
I
of
know.
hair.
I'm lucky. That's the only thing I've got.
No, that's
No.
stop fishing for compliments. It's utterly pathetic.
Well, I'm from Glasgow.
Yeah, okay,
And
fair enough.
Shirley's from Edinburgh, everyone, which means
We
she's
never fish for
better.
compliments.
She's better than me in every way. In every way. Isn't that right, Shirley?
Not in every way.
Yes, because she's from Edinburgh and I'm from Glasgow.
It's very
she's
different.
Gryffindor and I'm a mere Hufflepuff.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
No.
This is also Harry Potter, Joe. Come
That's
on.
right. Do you read Harry Potter,
So
Shirley?
for God's sake, well, I have done.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Joe's never read Harry Potter. He doesn't watch Game of Thrones.
Okay, Joe, sorry. But
No, I know those are like those
it's
are the two.
inexcusable.
Those are the two things you're most proud of from
What about
Scotland?
Ray Donovan? You watch Ray Donovan?
Yeah. Is that from Scotland?
Previously on Ray Donovan. I like Ray Donovan.
Oh,
Although,
okay.
do you watch Ray Donovan?
I used to, and then I don't know, I just lost.
I've been watching
Focus.
season 5. I'm like, you know what? You have to give some hope here.
It's too bleak.
It's too much.
Yeah, it gets
It's too much.
quite miserable.
Oh, it's
right?
very grim.
I like grim though.
I like a bit of grim myself.
Well, talking of grim, I'm currently watching the Ken Burns Vietnam
That's too grim.
documentary. That
Too grim
is
right
talking
now.
of grim.
It's very bad. Well, things are very grim right now.
They certainly
We were
are.
just talking about how grim everything is. Now, listen, actually, you're a perfect person to talk to about this. I hope you don't mind. Harvey Weinstein. Because this notion that he's a monster and nobody in Hollywood knew. Everybody in Hollywood knew.
Even I knew.
Yeah, everybody knew. I don't know why. It's like, the only reason, I mean, people knew that he was, I actually didn't know he was quite as much of a sexual predator as he was. But you can't really say anything about something if it's just hearsay. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're on TV and you're doing a monologue about someone or on the radio, you can't really say it because you'll get sued because you've got no proof.
Of course.
That's why it was it's so difficult for these women to come out and say something, because they're taking a risk.
Yeah, I've got a funny story to tell, sort of on that same subject,
Really?
which was a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a meet and greet at a festival called the Kaboo Festival in San Diego, and we were doing a meet and greet, and
Right.
you stand and get your photograph taken
I'm
with
familiar.
competition winners.
Right.
And I was standing there, and this man came up, small-ish, and he put his arm around me, and his hand was sort of touching my breast,
Side boob.
right? My side boob.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, okay, lots and lots of people get really nervous when they're meeting somebody
Right.
like Craig Ferguson or,
Shirley Manson. Right.
And I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I took my hand and I tried to move his hand further down my rib cage.
Right.
And he resisted my hand, and I just kept pushing it down until eventually he couldn't really hold on much longer, because I don't have a lot to hold on to. And his hand went down to my waist. We took the picture and off he trotted, and I was paralyzed. Intellectually, I couldn't even get my brain to kick in. I was just so shocked that someone had the audacity to touch my body like that.
I know. I think that... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, all I was going to say on that subject is I would know that a lot of the women have been criticised for only coming out now, and it's all of a sudden they're all talking about it en masse. But my point being is that sometimes, if you don't say something in the moment, you feel it's too late.
Absolutely.
Or you don't know who to mention it to. I didn't know who to talk about it to. I just thought my band would roll their eyes and be annoyed that I'd made a scene, and, I just made assumptions about people's reactions, and so I didn't say anything. And it was only a couple of weeks later that I was telling my husband what happened that I started feeling really outraged. And so, weirdly, that I had that experience a couple of weeks ago really makes me feel a lot of compassion for these women who clearly didn't really know how to express themselves, because a lot of the time people like Donna Karen, who carelessly came out and sort of suggested the women played a part in their own sort of sexual assaults.
I think she was lazy and silly saying that. My guess is that she doesn't actually maybe she does believe that.
I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes women are their own worst enemy, and I'm shocked that a woman of her standing came out and suggested that women play a role in any form of sexual predatory.
Here's what I think, if I may say. The use of the word sex in this assault is actually... I think we've got to stop that. When you say sexual predator or sex crime, what it does is, I think, is it plays into the fetish of the abuser. Because you add the word sex. Sex is a great thing. It's life-affirming. It's beautiful.
Course.
People love sex. And there's no sex involved in this. This is an abusive act of violence. You're touching someone's body. The fact that part of their body is used sexually or not is none of your damn business. It's just violence. It's flat out violence. And it contains when you get hit, when I've been hit, and I've been hit in my life, violently, shock is the number one thing. When I was learning to fight properly, what the guy who taught me was sing Happy Birthday in your head, because it will keep the adrenaline low enough for you to function.
Wow.
Because your body is flooded with adrenaline. You don't know what to do when you're being assaulted like that. And it's the idea that when we call it a sex assault, I think it is the idea that there is some sex. There's no sex involved.
Well, in Harvey Weinstein's case, make no mistake, that was about power and sex and violence.
Greed, I think it is about as well. It's like, give me more of
privilege
this.
And...
it's just like, give me food, give me pleasure, give me
more.
It's just awful greed personified. But I think that, now what I think is an interesting part of the debate is that men have to think about how they come across to women.
Yes.
More.
And other men have to support.
We all have to speak up, yeah.
It's
not a women's job.
No, it's not.
It's not like he didn't attack me, so I'm not involved. He did attack you.
Yeah. And isn't there a whole sort of rumours flying around that a lot of very famous movie stars, male movie stars, sort of helped cover up his behaviour or made excuses for it or tried to apologise?
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, and I guess we also need men to step up and really help us all sort this out, because it's gotten really crazy. But then, of course, if you have a man who's running for presidency, basically tell the world it's okay to grab women by their body parts, then you're really fighting an uphill battle, unfortunately.
Well, you are fighting an uphill battle, and everything is the thing is that it contains elements of politics. I wish it didn't, but it does. It contains politics all the way along. For example, when people say, it's not my job to pay for someone else's kid to get an operation. Yes, it is your job.
Yeah, that's society.
That's what living in a society is.
It's the privilege of living in a society.
It's the privilege of civilization. It's like, you know what? We're kind of all in this together. Yeah. Look, there's a sick kid over there. We got to club together and pay for this kid. It's not my kid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not your kid.
Well, a lot of men feel that about, the whole ruckus that kicked up last week about women's healthcare and birth control.
Birth control, right.
And what people don't seem to understand is like people ranting on our social media platforms saying, I'm not paying for some woman's, contraceptive. And I was like, well, would you rather pay the $20 for her contraceptive, which she cannot afford herself because she's 14 and she can't afford it? Or would you rather pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars it's going to take to support the unwanted child once it's born?
Yeah, I mean, it's
just makes no sense.
I know. People get very, very caught up in it's something to do with liberty, and I think it was with common decency.
Here.
Common decency. There's a sick kid. Like, how can we as a society be okay with that? Well, that kid doesn't come from here. I don't care where the kid comes from. The kid is sick.
Of course.
It's
but
so
I feel like, though, people aren't using their brains a lot of the time because we sit in our rooms by ourselves with our phones and we text and we shoot off on social media and so on and so forth, and we've forgotten what it means to sit on a bus or on a tube or brush past somebody in the street and actually feel their humanity. I think most people are decent. If you really
I believe that to be true.
If you pushed them into a room and said, there's a sick child, can you help? They would be pulling out their pockets to help.
Of course they would, yeah.
But the concept of an ill child in the confines of their bedrooms or their kitchens, whatever, is difficult for them to imagine.
Yeah, that's right. If it's theoretical, then it's easy to just, but when you're in it, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that, who was that? Sanjay Gupta, I think it was, the doctor. He got into trouble when he was in, I think it was Afghanistan. Somebody said to him, because they were enemy combatants, and he saw them, and he was like, "Oh, I got to help out." And they were like, "No, they're enemy combatants." He's like, "It's a human being in distress. I'm a doctor. Leave me alone." And the military backed him up and said, "Yes, we're not animals. Of course you do what you can." But it is that when you're removed from the situation, like Monday morning quarterbacks a little bit, when you're away from the actual situation, you get to have opinions you don't really,
you really foster.
You know what I don't like as well is that whole thing is, I have daughters, so I don't condone this. You don't need to have kids.
No, I know.
It's like, wait a minute, this is people.
Yeah, things are definitely topsy-turvy. I have to caution, though, myself and everyone I love and everyone who I hang out with right now, is we have to sort of try and remember there are incredible people that do beautiful things all day long, every day. The world is not all bad.
That's true.
It's really important to try and keep our hope.
You know what? No, it's true, because this is what I've been telling Joe, because Joe's young and impressionable, and I've been trying to tell him.
I am. Impression me, people.
Here's what I've been trying to tell him. In human history, statistically, there has never been a safer or better time to live than right now. Right now, the chances are that most people listening to this show, because this is a paid radio channel, most people that will die of old age. That's a huge difference.
I'm into that, brother.
That's a huge difference in human life in the past 100 years.
Yeah.
Since Alexander Fleming, who in Glasgow, I believe. Actually, he didn't. It was in Edinburgh.
Oh.
In Edinburgh, invented penicillin, or discovered penicillin. and antibiotics were born, the world was changed.
Yeah, but now the antibiotic age is coming to an end,
It
correct?
is, yeah, because the viruses are mutating.
The new viruses.
Yeah, well, it's not viruses, it's bacteria. The bacteria.
Excuse me, yes.
Yeah, that's right, because viruses have never been.
Okay, I'm going to have a panic attack. I need a paper bag.
Why?
Because when I think about the end of the antibiotic era, I do start to panic a little.
Oh, don't worry. The steroid era is
worried.
with us. Yeah, no. It's all right. We're in.
I'm worried.
No, you mustn't worry.
Let's go on to a lighter subject.
All right. How was your tour?
Yeah, you
How
had
was your
just
tour
left
this year?
when
You
we saw you
toured.
last.
Garbage and Blondie all over the world. I saw it in social media.
I love you most when you're cheap and superficial.
Hey, you still got it, girl. Yeah, you got right to my trousers.
It was incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah. I felt like I learnt a lot, and it lifted my spirits.
So what was the deal then? You and Blondie worked together?
Yeah, it was a co-headline tour. They invited
Right.
us to come and tour with them because now that the economics of the music industry are complex,
Yes.
bands have to be really smart, and you make partnerships
Right.
in order to survive.
Right.
And this was a really great arrangement for both
It's a
bands.
very good bill. Yeah, Garbage and Blondie is perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
From start to finish, it was extraordinary.
Is it finished
experience.
then?
Yeah, it was very short. It was only 8 weeks, I think, 7 or 8 weeks. And it was generally very well received. And to learn from a woman who is 72 years old and is
Debbie
still
Harry's
making
72?
records, yeah,
Jeez.
was extraordinary. It was an extraordinary event for me, and one in which I learnt a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Debbie Harry.
She's incredible.
I was a big fan, I guess, in the late 70s, mid 70s.
Well, we all were, yeah.
Yeah, I was 15, I think.
She's like the archetype.
Kind of, right. I mean,
what,
it was like,
what you expect or hope from a rock and roll star.
right. Yeah, and it was an interesting thing because I hate to use the word empowerment, but it kind of felt like that. It was a kind of like there was a real, the identity of that band was female, even though there was only one female in the band, but it was very kind of like, and the songs, she didn't write all the songs, but it was a very kind of, it was great. It was a very unusual and different thing. I feel like people forget about that now.
Well, you forget what a pioneer they were.
Yeah.
Pioneers they were, and what a pioneer she was.
I know.
You know, it's extraordinary. And just to hear her speak, like, you forget what she's lived through. You know, she was talking about William Burroughs, and she was talking about Jackson Pollock and Andy Warhol and all these people she hung out with, you know, and Truman Capote. And we were just sort of like, our jaws were literally on the floor. Jeez. And then her and Christine were talking about how they were there at the first Woodstock separately. They didn't know each other was there, but they were both there at the first Woodstock. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And how Debbie danced naked in the mud. And we were sort of like, somebody's first experience of seeing a naked woman would be Debbie Harry dancing in the mud at Woodstock. I mean, how beautiful is that?
Oh, that is.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Should we get in the time machine?
Let's go back there right now, boys.
All right, then let's get in the time machine.
Yay!
Oh.
Shut the door, for God's sake.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we are at Woodstock.
Man, I've never seen a naked person before, but
I am
today could be the day.
So high right now.
You're high. I'm stone cold sober, want to see someone naked.
Wait, who's that over there?
I think that might be Debbie Harry.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
She's in the mud. Wait.
Oh my God.
Beneath the mud, there's naked flesh.
Wait,
This is so sad.
Yeah, let's get back in the time machine
Quickly.
All right.
Before we lose all.
Oh, thank goodness we're back.
I saw it, though.
Thank goodness we're back in 2017 where things are much cooler than they were in Woodstock.
No, that was the best.
Wait a minute, that was 50 years ago, I guess. Woodstock was, what, 67?
Oh, now you're asking. I have no idea. Joe,
yeah.
Google it, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wait, 69.
69, all right, nearly 50 years. So, I follow you on the Tweety. And every time when I was seeing you on the Tweety when you were on tour, your bus was breaking down all the time.
It's true.
What was happening?
It broke down 3 times.
This is outrageous.
It was really pretty outrageous. It was
you make
actually
the
quite
shows?
disturbing. We didn't miss a single show. We missed days off, and we sat in a bus on the freeway in very dangerous circumstances and prayed that we could get saved at like 3:00 in the morning. But yeah, it broke down 3 times. It tested everybody's patience. It was really quite sad.
I think did it completely break down? Was there like no TV on the bus or snacks? Very important to me.
You know there's always snacks on tour.
Yes, it's got to be snacks.
Yeah, there's definitely snacks. No, it was just, it literally could not move off the freeway.
Oh my God.
It ground to a halt and we couldn't move. It was terrible.
It doesn't feel, sadly, no, and you know what? It does have a slight whiff of Spinal Tap about it.
It's everything about my life is Spinal Tap. Are you kidding? I mean, but here's the deal. The problem is, again, and it goes back to economics of the music industry. If you're only going out for 8 weeks, you're screwed. You get the worst buses. You get all the, you just get the short end of the stick, because most people go on tour and then they tour for, 12 months, 18 months, because it's the best way to, put all the costs over a long spread
period
of time. Yeah.
Joe, take notes of this. We're touring next year. I'm going back out, and it's much easier as a stand-up, though.
Are you really going out?
Yeah, I'll go
Fantastic.
back out again. Yeah.
I'm going to come and see you this time. I've never actually seen your stand-up except for when you were, who.
Bing Hitler.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
That was the last time?
Back.
Yeah.
At the Edinburgh Assembly Rooms, I
Yep, the
think.
Assembly Rooms. That would have been 87.
You wore a
Also
shocking
50 years
checked suit, I think, as I recall.
People, so when I went through customs to go to the festival, right?
They'll shout, "Hey, bang!"
This isn't London.
No, in London, right? So I had to have a letter that said what show I was doing.
Sure.
So it's the Craig Ferguson show. And the guy goes, Craig Ferguson, is that Bing Hitler? He's like, I remember Bing Hitler. He remembered and he's like, I saw him back in the, 87 or something.
Yeah. Everybody that saw me drunk and performing in 87
works in customs
works
now.
in customs.
See, it's weird you should say that, because I'm big in the game in customs.
Really?
Every time I go through customs, somebody will go, you were in Terminator, right? You were
Yes!
Terminator. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Or, oh yeah, I saw you in Goodbye, Mr. Mackenzie.
Hey,
Hey,
whoa, a new
why?
Terminator movie.
I know.
Are you going to be in it?
Oh, I doubt it.
Why?
Although my friend, I think, is writing for it, so that's good.
I think you should be in it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think I should be in it with you.
Please be in it
Yes.
with me.
I
Oh my
think
God, we
we
could
should
be matching.
We could be like Scottish Terminators.
Oh my God, it'd be so cool.
We're like, well, you fucking, you.
Hey.
All right, we're for the future.
Hey.
What? Fuck it.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
And also, it was a little bit get off my lawn-y. Like the
Well,
guy from the
that's the age
future
I'm at now.
comes back and just yells at him, get off my lawn, I'm from the future.
I'm for the future. You're great. You're not great. You're rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. Yeah.
I get a guy. I was coming out of Glasgow Airport the last time, and I was going through security, and the security guard was there, and he went, "Oh, aye, it's you." He's the guy that's going through my underwear and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." Yeah. And he said, "What accent you using now, eh?" What accent you using now?
Oh God!
I said, "Whatever one keeps me from rifling through the underwear of strangers."
You
my
did
man.
not say that,
I
did
did
you?
not say that to him.
Good, you
'cause I
just
would've-
thought it, right?
I thought it, but I didn't say it. Because
Well
I was
done.
angry at him, though.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit humiliating. It's horrible when they're going through your stuff.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. Oh, I see you've got a skid mark here in your underpants.
gee.
Well, I think I've told you this story before. I may have bored you with this story last time. Was I got to Australia once, and I opened my suitcase, and on the very top of all my stuff was a unopened box of Gucci perfume, which I have never used in my life, and a very large pair of underpants. I mean, huge. Like, I wear thongs, I'll be honest with you,
Right.
small thongs. This was a large pair of somebody else's pants. Knickers. Panties. you
Wait,
call them in America.
but this is your suitcase? This is not-
My suitcase.
How does that happen?
Well, you tell me.
Wait,
Well, we don't know.
perfume.
Well, it freaked me out because I was like, anyone could plant anything on me, and I wouldn't.
Oh,
know.
yeah, no, you're right, I guess.
Because what I think had happened is they obviously went through a bunch of suitcases all at once, and then just put things back, and then
All
didn't.
right.
Somebody said, "Well, whose knickers are they?" And they went and put them in that one over there, and they slammed my suitcase
Oh,
shut.
wow, that's
It was
crazy.
really creepy.
Did you put them on?
I certainly did not, but oh my God, I would laugh till I was nearly sick.
I think that you should keep them. You kept them, obviously.
I did not keep them.
You didn't keep them?
No.
Why not?
Why would I want to keep them, you
should
weird
frame them.
pervert?
No.
What's wrong with you, Craig Ferguson?
I'm not a weird
I thought you were
pervert.
a nice boy.
I'm a
but
regular
you're not a nice
pervert.
boy.
Sure, yeah,
No, you
he's
should
regular
keep them
pervert.
and frame. You've probably got gold discs up in your wall. Put
I
up the
wondered what you were
pants.
going to say there.
Oh, well, yeah, it did it?
Right?
Could have gone a lot of
It
different
could have gone
ways.
really
Yeah.
wrong there, but he pulled it back back at the last
What
second.
do you
Yeah.
mean? What do you mean?
He's-
I think
Very quick
gold
on his feet.
gold discs is where I wasn't sure what you're going to say.
Yeah, me and Joe looked slightly
What do you think
alarmed.
it was gonna
I don't know. When you said you've got some
Yeah.
gold,
And
I
then
was
Joe
like,
and I looked at each other and we
you're
looked
like, oh,
wide-eyed.
what's he going to say?
What happened, though? I don't understand.
We don't understand either. We didn't know where you were going with it.
Try and keep up with the rest of the class.
Well, what I'm saying is you probably got mementos from your life in rock, and this is a pair of pants
Sure.
onto your suitcase.
I've had a lot of pants over the years, darling.
Ah, okay,
and
no.
so have you.
No.
Oh, come on now.
Sure, he
I
wears
used to wear
pants.
lucky pants when I was doing... I used to wear
What? It's lucky pants.
lucky
when they're at home.
underpants when I
Okay,
was on
that
stage.
is just one of the saddest things I've ever heard in my
it's
life.
not. Don't tell me
It's
you never
nuts.
wore lucky underwear.
I most certainly didn't. What is a lucky pair of pants when they're at home?
Pants that give you good luck before you go on stage.
But how do you come to the conclusion, these are my lucky pants?
'Cause the
What
last
gets you there?
Because the last
mate?
gig you did was okay when you were wearing them. So you don't want to wash off the good luck.
Good Lord. So you keep them,
No,
you
I don't
accumulate
now. I don't now.
the grime
No. I mean,
and the
yeah,
sweat
a little bit.
and the
That's why I had to stop doing Big
Emissions?
Hitler. It was the same. It was the same underpants for 18 months.
Oh, man.
No, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
Crowd's
Jeez,
devastated.
the crowd turned on me. All right.
How did you do that? How did you get the crowd to make that noise without moving?
You know, some of us have got it.
And some of us don't.
No, I think you've got plenty. We have to take a break. We'll be right back with Shirley Manson.
We'll continue in a moment.
All the good times that he had, if they were good enough for granddad, they're good enough for me.
The Craig Ferguson Show will continue right after the most important words you will ever hear in your life. Sirius XM's Got Soul.
I feel good.
Classic Soul. Dusties, Oldies, Motown, 45s. Now that's Soul Town. Channel 49. Or listen when you get out of the car with the Sirius XM app.
Classic soul and Motown here on Soul Town.
Equifax, the credit bureau, breached. 143 million of you had your personal data exposed. Retired FBI agent Art Fitzenmeyer warns that a crime wave called home title fraud may be coming.
The Equifax breach likely exposed your home's title and loan records. Cyber thieves can see the equity you have in your home, and they want it. And because everything's online, they simply forge a few documents with your signature, refile, and take over title. Then they borrow money on your home and drain all your equity. You won't even know until you get hit with foreclosure notices. Look, no identity theft protection or homeowner's policy covers this. Home Title Lock does. Just pennies a day helps protect your most valuable asset, your home.
Put an online barrier around your home's title with Home Title Lock. Sign up and get your home's title history a $60 value free. Visit HomeTitleLock.com and use promo code PROTECT. HomeTitleLock.com, promo code PROTECT.
For P150, P150GA, P150NY, P150OK, P150TN, C250A, C250E, C250Q. Not available in all states. If New York or Colorado, call for a similar offer.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company, 1-800-500-9481. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. Call now for a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-500-9481. That's 1-800-500-9481. 1-800-500-9481.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-900-8407. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, Do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-900-8407. That's 1-800-900-8407. 1-800-900-8407.
This is Ton Ostergaard with Creek Carrier Corporation. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you to all of America's truck drivers that are out there safely delivering America's freight. Truly, without truck drivers, America stops. And with that, I want to again say thank you to all the Creek Carrier, Schaefer, and Hunt drivers. And those of you that aren't drivers with Creek Carrier, this is a great opportunity to join our team. Please take a moment to check us out at creekcarrier.com. Thank you again, and be safe.
Whoa! A gong in the end.
Sure, yeah, for Shirley.
That was a live jingle performed by Shirley Manson.
Yeah, I was on the gong.
Yeah. Well, the audience is going crazy.
You're welcome, you're welcome.
You know what that jingle is we had a lovely lady called
Lisa Windsor.
Lisa Windsor that called in from Winnipeg, Canada, and she said, I'll do jingles for you. And we said, okay. And then she did them.
Well, she did an amazing job.
She did,
great.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We thought they were they're going to be like lame or whatever, and then she did. We have a reggae one. They're awesome.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
There's a bunch of them. So what we're saying is it's time for you to do it.
I would love to do
only
one.
fair.
Everybody's doing them now.
I'd love to do
fair.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll rustle you one up.
Yeah, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
We can
Even
make-
if you just did it on your iPhone,
Leave
we'll
it with
take
me.
anything. Yeah,
I
just
think that would be really cool.
oh man.
What we should do is build up nearly 2 hours of jingles of talented people doing jingles, and then we don't have to do it.
Oh, that's
There you
great.
go.
And then we can
Much
do
better
your
show.
drum solo in there. Throw that in there.
I do like a drum solo.
Yeah.
I'm the only one left. I'm the only one left.
Well, that's not strictly true.
You don't like a drum solo.
I sometimes I like drums en masse. I get quite excited when I see people play like more than one drummer. It's exciting to me.
Oh yeah.
2 drummers is always good.
Just went to the Gorilla show last week, and they had at least 2 drummers
Well, they've got
going.
an incredible section, like rhythm section.
Oh, unbelievable!
Yeah.
It was so cool.
So you see, you're wrong.
No, what am I wrong
Again.
about? What was I wrong about this time?
That people don't like drum solos. Well, you were wrong. People do.
don't like. Look, I'm talking 23-minute Pierre van der Linden in Focus 3.
I think that would be quite refreshing at this point.
You know what's interesting is I'd been talking about it the other day here. So Pierre van der Linden was my favourite drummer.
Is that true?
Yeah, I loved Pierre van der Linden.
On name alone, forget his drum skills.
Yeah,
Great
Like,
name.
Best bass pedal you ever hear.
Wow.
And his bass pedal work predates that fancy double bass pedal they have now.
Cheating, as you call it.
Right, or cheating as I call it.
Yeah.
So these people go brr, 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 brr. You never used to be able to do that.
No, that's like driving manual.
Right, exactly. But Pierre van der Linden's bass pedal work on Focus 3 is, you want to get some.
What a pretentious conversation this is.
Here it is.
Here he is.
Listen.
Is that cowbell?
Yes, cowbell in there.
Good.
Everything's there.
Good Lord.
Maracas,
Yeah.
snacks.
Snacks?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he did it live for 25 minutes at a concert in Amsterdam.
God.
All right, that's enough. You know what? I can't take
That's
it anymore.
enough, Pierre.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Oh, my God. Now, listen, who were you listening to then when you were growing up? When you were doing Goodbye, Mr. Mackenzie, who were the bands that you aspired to be like?
Oh, my God. Well, when I was really young, I was obsessed with Susie and the Banshees, The Clash. I actually was so lucky because I didn't get into popular music until I was a lot older. So I was a complete nerd. I listened to, like, The World of Clarinet on vinyl. Yes, I really did.
Oh, you had it on vinyl, though. That makes it
I
cool.
had it on vinyl.
Was that Acker Bilk by any chance?
Oh, I have no idea. But these are the kind of records I listened to. I listened to my mum's jazz records.
Right.
So I was really lucky. I got well educated in Nina Simone and Billie Holiday and Peggy Lee and Sarah Vaughan. I was really lucky. And then I didn't hear sort of aside from watching Top of the Pops, I didn't really hear modern popular music until I was about 14, by which point I was hanging out with cool boys and they were introducing me to all the cool artists. So all the artists that I loved when I was 14, I still pretty much love now.
You know, I'm the same. I've noticed that. There are bands in Scotland that I'd forgotten about, but through the miracle of the internet, I've started pulling them out. And there's I don't know if you remember this, they were a kind of experimental jazz, which sounds horrible.
Sounds really horrible.
It sounds horrible, but they were great. It was a band called Chow Parrot. Did you ever see them or hear them?
No, I can't say I ever heard of Chow Parrot.
It's crazy good. And I found them on YouTube, is the only place I found them. Some old vinyl pressing that's on YouTube.
Chow Parrot. I have to look this up when I get home.
Oh my God, the musicianship is unbelievable.
Oh, you're so highbrow today.
No,
I can't handle it.
No, it's not. It's just I'm just a fan of it. I like it. I like good music.
I know you do. You've always loved music.
Well, I always think comedy and music is. What's this?
This is probably Chow Parrot, I'm guessing.
It is.
This is Chow Parrot right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
It's crazy.
It does sound kind of mental.
It's mostly instrumental. And a lot of electric violin and stuff in it. I mean, it's not. And a guy, I remember them because their drummer had the first metal shell drum kit that I'd ever seen. And I saw them live.
Were they Glasgow band?
Yeah, they were Glasgow, and this drum kit that the drummer had, I think he had it made somewhere. It was really heavy, but the sound of the thing, because it was metal, it was it was the loudest thing I'd ever heard.
Oh,
it was
that's
unbelievable.
Yeah, that must have sounded completely mental.
It was bonkers, but everyone was very high and drunk, so
of course
it all helped. But what is amazing though is I found it, and it's actually really good. Because you go back and think about it.
Yeah, you're scared, I love this band, and you go back and check them out, they're terrible.
Yeah, that happens a bit.
Did you remember Hey Elastica?
Yes, I do. They were great.
And nobody else remembers this band. Everyone looks at me like I've lost my mind. Who Can Pull Gang?
I don't remember that.
There's a girl drummer, and she was really small, and there was a really beautiful bass player called Rita.
No, I remember Sophisticated Boom Boom.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Sophisticated Boom Boom were an all-girl band. And
great name.
Oh, they were fantastic.
Incredible, yeah.
That's a really great name.
I was actually, their guitarist was my girlfriend for a while. Or I should say, I was the boyfriend of the guitarist.
There you go. Good save.
Sure.
What was your band called, though?
I was in the Dream Boys with Peter Capaldi.
Oh, my God.
And James King and the Lone Wolves. I was the drummer in that band.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I was Nico's drummer in Scotland. For that tour she did with the harmonium. Yeah. So we did 3 songs with Nico, and we did...
so what was she like?
It was sad. It was sad.
Why?
Well, she was very... it wasn't at the peak of her career.
Powers, yeah.
You know, and she was doing this show with a harmonium. She would sing a lot of Jacques Brel songs in this harmonium, and it was good for a while, and then it was kind of boring. And at the end of the set, I'd come on with a guitarist and a drummer, a guitarist and a bass player, and we would do Sweet Jane, All Tomorrow's Parties, and Waiting for the Man.
Oh my God. So hold on, how did you get hooked up in that gig?
I don't know. I was very young. I was like 18.
What were you like when you were young? Were you a hustler? Were you really ambitious? Were you...
I was very ambitious, but I didn't have anything to back it up. I didn't have any skill. I mean, I just hung out with cool people in the West End of Glasgow, and we went through Edinburgh on the train and hung out with cool people there.
Were you cool?
Yeah. Yeah, I was cool.
Deliberately so?
No, I didn't know I was cool at the time. I look back now, and I go, oh my God, I actually was cool, but I didn't know that.
What made you become cool? Because it's always something with people like, I was, I don't know, my mum was a beast, and so I became an aesthete, or, what was your cool thing? I
was afraid.
Yeah.
I was scared. Weren't you scared in Scotland?
Of course, yeah.
It's different now.
But I was never cool. I've had too much passion to be cool.
I think that's not true. I think that because I remember you in Scotland and you were cool. And I
was quite cool then, that's true.
You weren't...
I became uncool very quickly.
I think what happened is you became successful outside of Scotland, and for a time... it's hard for people like your group to forgive you for that.
Yeah.
Like when Garbage took off initially, and you were in garbage, I had a hard time forgiving you. You know,
have you forgiven me now, darling?
Yes, of course. But and I forgave you very quick. I think round about Stupid Girl, I completely forgave you. But I think that it's hard. And I went back to Glasgow this summer, and I made some TV. I hadn't made anything there in ages. And I was filming this thing for the BBC, and
what kind of thing?
It was it's a show called Still Game. Do you know the show Still Game? It's a sitcom in Scotland. It's really huge in Scotland. It's like the #1 show in Scotland. It's very, very funny and very clever and sad. It's a single camera show. It's a very, very good show. And
so you were acting in it?
I was acting in it, and I hadn't done anything like that in a long time. And I went back in, and a lot of the people that I worked with 30 years ago in Scotland are still working at the BBC.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And they were all lovely, and it was nice to be back amongst them. I think I was very ambitious and ready to get out when I was there, but I'm not like that anymore. I don't feel that anymore. But you mustn't say you weren't cool, because you were, and you were celebrated and adored well before you became garbage. Like Goodbye Mr. Mackenzie were a cool band that people loved.
No, that's very true. But that wasn't really my thing, to be fair. I just tagged along on that.
But you were in it. You were part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you were part of that. Like the Dream Boys wasn't my band.
But did you have an idea of what you wanted to do with your career? Because you've had a very eclectic sort of spread in your career.
No, I had no idea at all.
No idea at all?
No.
You just sort of hand to mouth kind of like stumbled along, or?
You know what I think it is, more and more as I think about it, and it's odd that I should be talking to you about it, but I watch my own kids, because both my boys are, musicians. They're learning and they play and they're interested and they're good. And I played the drums. But I was a bad boy. I was a drunk, and I took drugs, and I was a fighter and a carouser and stuff. And
my kind of guy.
Yeah. Then. And what I did was that I never embraced the art the way I should. Had I actually, put the glass down and studied the work of Pierre van der Linden, I would have been a much poorer musician by now. I wouldn't have had the life I had, and maybe it would have been better. I don't know, but I just didn't concentrate. I didn't focus on anything. I didn't have anything except stand up a little bit. I kind of.
So how did you end up? Sorry to ask you all these questions.
No, it's
sorry,
fine.
Joe. It must be boring for you. But how did you end up in America?
After I got sober, I couldn't get arrested in London, and that's where I was. I felt.
And you considered yourself a comedian, or what was how did you view yourself?
I thought I might be an actor or a comedian or something like that.
So you decided to move to America to get work?
Yeah.
And then you came here to LA?
I came to California because it felt like a place to reinvent yourself. Like Americans do that, How did you end up here?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, mine's a little less dramatic, because of course I was working in the Midwest in Wisconsin, and my band went on hiatus for a lot of different reasons, but I was like, I can't stay in Wisconsin, otherwise I know that a career that I have in music will grind to a halt, because there's no business in Wisconsin, no music business.
Whereabouts in Wisconsin?
Madison.
Okay, so I like that town.
Oh, it's a great town.
Yeah.
But there's no music business there, so I was like, I will die here if I don't get out, and I have to get out quick before the grass. Like if you hang around for too long, you can't move. So I was like, okay, it needs to be either New York or LA, because that's where the businesses are in this country, music business, and I couldn't afford New York, so we went to LA.
Oh, that's
basically how I ended up
And
here.
did you audition for the band then?
A long time ago, yeah. I did. I guess I did. I was touring America with a band called Angelfish. I was the lead singer of that band, but just really by default, I didn't write or anything. I was just the singer. And then my band was sort of falling apart. One of the band members was seriously hooked on alcohol and drugs, and the other one didn't want to be in a band with me as the lead singer. So we were sort of like fracturing.
All about that stuff with bands. You know crazy. What? That's why I ended up being a stand-up. I hated all that politics with bands.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
It's worth it if it's the right band.
If it's the right band.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's worth it if it's the right marriage.
Yeah, exactly. But it is, make no mistake, you have to work at it.
Yeah,
if you don't, it fractures really fast.
Yeah.
You know this. I mean, I'm preaching to the converted. But
that's why I ended up not being in it. I think because there was a lot of politics and relationships that have to be worked through, and I was in no position to do that at that point in my life.
Do you ever want to act now?
Yeah, a little bit. You know.
Totally should. You got a face for
puts
it,
on little
darling.
plays. He puts on little plays for me and Tomas downstairs.
Nativity
Just
play. I'll do
Cute. Will you do me a nativity
I'll
this year?
do you a nativity this year. We'll
I'd
have
love that.
might do a Halloween special. I don't know.
It's fun. He does a good job.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. What about you with the acting? You going to do more acting?
I don't know if I've got the chops for it, to be honest. No, seriously. I had a terrible experience very, very recently where basically someone on a show was like, this is your role to lose, go and audition tomorrow. If you know, this is yours if you can do well. And I went to that audition and I was there in the room for about an hour because they wanted me to get the role. And I just got worse and worse and worse. I started forgetting all the lines. Just couldn't get my heart rate down. It was, I came out the audition, walked round the corner to where my husband was waiting in the car, and he went, how did the audition go? And I burst into tears. I was like, I'm never doing that again. It was horrible.
But that's an actor's life you're describing.
But I don't know if I can handle that. Is my point.
I agree. I understand. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm surprised by the amount of really big actors that have to audition now. It still happens.
Well, of course, the competition's so intense.
I know. It's really, I couldn't do it. I hated auditioning.
Yeah, I couldn't really handle it.
No.
Do you, but you love movies, right?
Not as much as I used to.
Ooh.
I tell you, it's kind of interesting. I find myself drawn more to what's happening on television than I find myself drawn into cinemas.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. You know, I do too, actually. But
you know, it's like interesting stuff is being done in TV and like on Netflix and Amazon and the streaming places. It's just more interesting.
Yeah.
Movies are made. I understand I made enough movies to understand the economy of it and the economics of it, and you can't make movies for people like me. There's not enough of us. Yeah. That will go to the movie and see it. You know, it's like
I'd go and see it.
Yeah, I go and see it too. But you and me going to see it, it's not going to pay the $40 million. It's like $20 million a ticket.
Have you seen the new Blade Runner?
I have not. Have you?
Have you seen? Are you a fan of the original?
Yes, of course.
Right, because it's like one of my all-time favourite movies ever. And then I went to see the new one, and I was just curious what you thought about it.
Well, you'll have to come back next week. Cause,
no spoilers here.
I'll go and see it. But what did you think about it? Do you like it?
There's a lot of great stuff in it, for sure. But it's certainly it's not as in depth as the first.
Do you know why I think a wee bit recherche du temps perdu?
Quoi?
A wee bit with that stuff.
Je ne comprends pas.
Well, you know what I'm talking. Like trying to find going back. You can't go back. The past is another country.
Yeah, you can't go back.
And they do things differently there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who was that? Is that Philip Larkin?
I don't know, but I love it.
They do things differently
The
there?
past is another country. They do things differently there. It's a poem.
I love that quote.
It's beautiful, isn't it? We were talking about Samuel Beckett tomorrow, actually.
Friday.
Friday, right.
Yeah.
And there's a Samuel Beckett quote that I love. I wonder if you like this. It's, the role of objects is to restore silence.
I quite like that.
It's kind of, it has an initial. I think it's initially incomprehensible. The other one's much better.
Yeah, that was
sorry,
really good.
Beckett.
But we're on Larkin's side.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Larkin.
L.P. Hartley.
L.P. Hartley. What? J.R. Hartley.
Now hold on. Yeah, I was just. That's what I was going to. What was that? That was some ad.
There
right?
was a commercial in Britain. It was. I can't remember.
Some old man goes into look for.
He's going. It's a montage of him going to different stores and looking for a book.
Yeah.
Fly fishing. I'm looking for a book called Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. And he's going around, he's trying to find it, and he says, sorry, it's out of print. No, we don't have it, sorry. Get out, boo! And eventually he gets on the line, and he's on the phone, and he says, I'm looking for a copy of Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. And they said, yes, we've got it. He said, yeah, I'd like to order it, please. What's your name? J.R. Hartley.
Oh.
It was for the Yellow Pages. It was a commercial for the Yellow Pages.
I think this must be it.
By J.R. Hartley.
Hey, there you are. That's
Happy
it.
days.
Happy days indeed. That's when commercials were friendly.
See, now I really understand your obsession with Joe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do I have an obsession with Joe?
Oh, let's
I
hear
hope
about
so.
it.
Why?
Well, he just pulled that one out really.
Oh, that
quickly
wasn't
and
Joe.
easily.
No, that was Steve.
No. That was Steve in
That
New
was-
York did that.
Ah, hi, Steve.
Yeah.
That explains
Hello.
crazy
Can we,
obsession with
can we
Steve.
hang out, please?
Yeah.
Yes. anytime.
Oh, Steve,
Oh, don't
Steve
be
likes you
careful.
very much.
Be careful.
Just casually,
I love-
a coffee.
I love that he pulled that out.
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible.
Yes, he's a weird and very efficient young man.
Clearly.
Yeah, no, he's good.
You could fix my life.
Oh,
don't he
no,
will.
you're-
Yeah,
you're-
anytime.
That
No.
Steve, knock it off.
They love me.
All right, so no touring then. That's it. No more
We've
touring?
got one more show next weekend in Guadalajara in Mexico, my beloved Mexico. We're going there to play our last show of the year, and then that's us done.
All right, so you can be on this show a lot more. Then.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
Literally,
that's
I
great.
pass here every day with my dog. Look, Joe's
kind
looking really nervous. Did you notice that?
No.
No, I got I'm like
I
excited.
got some side eye there.
No,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
No, he
about
looks
the
really frightened.
No, this is
He's
the greatest
covering
thing.
for you right now, but he looked really frightened.
No, this is the greatest thing.
He's secure.
Yeah.
He's secure. He's all right.
Yeah, we're good.
He knows he's loved.
Oh,
I hope
it's
so.
beautiful.
Thank you.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a rescue terrier of some sort. I'm obsessed with her. But now that she's hitting 11 years old, all I can think about is her imminent death. And I every now and again throw myself on top of her and start sobbing. And go, please don't leave me, please don't leave me.
Break your
It's
heart,
really,
dogs.
they'll break your heart.
Break your heart.
So intense.
We've got one of our dogs is getting up there now. Old Heidi.
Oh, really? That's a
Yeah.
big dog too.
Yeah.
Did you read Tom?
What's that mean?
I don't know.
I almost felt like you were saying that's a lot of burying or something.
That's dark.
Oh man, it's gonna a couple shovels. No, I just mean like the bigger dogs have a harder time getting older.
They do.
With like hips and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it happens quicker.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I feel that happens to people too. I'm large and I feel like I'm getting.
You're not large.
Oh,
Come on.
Thank you, Shirley.
You are really handsome
I'm-
and genetically blessed, and I'm not allowing this to carry on anymore in my presence.
No, I meant I'm tall.
Oh, yeah.
Tall,
Just say
All right,
tall.
you're tall.
Yeah.
Tall and fit.
Tall and fit.
Tall and ripped.
No, but
All
you
right.
are. You're a beautiful man.
Well, thank you. I'm very uncomfortable with
I know
this
you
kind of
are. That's
talk.
why I keep doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. that-
You're so beautiful.
Scottish.
I
Is it
love
right? Knock
you.
it off. See, I think one of the most interesting things about it's one of the reasons why I love talking to you. Well, I love talking to you because you're you.
You just said I like talking to me. You'd realise that was a Freudian slip.
No,
there.
no, it was just it came out like that.
did it? Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like that to you, but I didn't.
Wait.
I love talking to me because
I love
I'm so
talking
awesome.
to you because I'm so awesome.
Do you talk to you? Do you talk to you?
Do I talk to myself? No,
You
not
should.
really.
It's fun.
A little bit.
All right. Well, we could then.
I used to when I was drunk.
What?
I used to stand and shout at myself.
Oh, God.
in mirrors.
Oh, in mirrors.
Yeah.
Mirrors. For some reason, because it was schizophrenia until the mirror was there, right?
No, it was alcoholism.
drunkenness, yeah.
It's good old-fashioned alcoholism.
Scottish drunkenness.
Just
Yeah.
yell at yourself, like nice things, like "You handsome son of a bitch."
Yeah, sure. Why not? I yelled affirmations at myself drunkenly.
That's good, actually.
No.
Does that mean Joe's never spoken to himself?
I don't know. Have you, Joe?
Well, no, I don't. No, I think I think is that what you mean?
You have never spoken out loud to yourself.
Oh no, yeah, I guess I have.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have.
Like I'm playing tennis and I missed a shot and like Joe, you suck.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Is that how dark life gets for you? My God.
So adorable.
That's
Joe, you suck.
Joe, you
Joe,
missed
you
that shot.
Try harder
She
next time.
shucks.
No, one of the reasons I love talking to you is because I feel like it's like Glasgow in the West End and Edinburgh in, I guess, I can't remember.
Stockbridge.
Kind of is Stockbridge, isn't it? It's the West End again.
Mm-hmm.
There's two areas of creativity that I think the world has no idea how influential that is in the world. You look at art and music and what's come out of there in the last 50 years. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. I love it. I do. I love all of that kind of, like Peter House and Stephen Campbell and the painters and the musicians and the art. Even go back further than that, Rennie McIntosh and like the whole modernist movement and it's incredible amount of work of artistic influence from these places, and I love that.
Well, you
And
know
think
why
it
I like talking
continues.
to you?
Why? Because you can lord it over me because you're
Yes.
from Edinburgh.
Because I feel superior when I'm talking to you, Craig.
As you should.
No, I like talking to you because, well, for two reasons. One, you're actually a really talented listener, which is really unusual these days, particularly somebody in show business.
Thank you.
No, but it's true. You do. You listen, which is, I always noticed that about you in your talk show.
Right.
That you listen to people. And secondly, that you have interests in all kinds of things. And that you're actually, I love that you just quoted bloody PJ Hartley or whoever it was to me.
LP?
Yeah.
LP Hartley.
And that you love boxing and you love dogs and animals and your family, and I don't know, you can talk trivial nonsense and be really funny, and you can also be sensible. That's why I
bless you, Shirley.
You're welcome, darling.
You will be welcome back here at any time. And the fools who did...
Now, hold on, though. Back to the idea of listening. I feel like I've been talking about this lately because I am trying to practice being a better listener. Because I feel like in our culture currently, nobody's listening. Everybody's broadcasting, but nobody's actually listening to a damn thing anyone's saying. I mean, you can say to somebody, oh, I just lost my dog, and they're like, oh, do you want a cup of tea? Or like everyone's breezing by and telling everybody what's happening in their important life, and really missing a lot of information about what's wonderful in the world and what's, I don't know, fragile. And I don't know why I'm saying this.
I think it's important.
Help me.
Dig
me out of this hole.
No. I was listening to you. Actually, I was drifting a bit.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
Come on.
I'm kidding, Shirley. We're done. Get out.
Okay, goodbye.
Will you come back again after
I might if I feel like it.
Please come back.
Yeah, we'll be nice.
You live very
nice.
nearby.
Oh, you really are kicking me out. This is just frightening.
Well, just for a commercial break.
It's not like...
Don't leave me.
No, we want you back.
Don't leave me in this dark spot.
It's not a dark spot. It's my shed. It's a lovely, breezy shed.
Cheerio. I'll see you next time.
Cheerio. See you in a little bit.
Yes.
We'll be right back after these messages.
The number 2 show in the world. We hope you like number 2, because you'll be getting a whole bunch more of the Craig Ferguson Show. After the break.
Hey, it's your old pal, Dr. Steve. Join my wacky band of medical misfits.